I'm very excited for our next speaker. This is a man who has marched many miles with us, although he certainly didn't have to. Forgive me for saying that he's from far western New Hampshire, of course, the great state of Vermont. But Ben Cohen, the co-founder of Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream, which we will be enjoying very soon, has been leading the Stamp Stampede, founder and leader of the Stamp Stampede, because he didn't have enough to do in the ice cream business, which has been stamping all across America, and you'll hear about it. Hopefully a lot of you are stampers already. And Ben has walked with us from the very beginning of the New Hampshire Rebellion and taken this fight all across the country. Welcome, Ben Cohen.
Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you, Dan. Thank you all the New Hampshire Rebellion walkers. Thank you to AFSC, who's been working on this issue. And thanks so much to all those people who have been stamping their balls off, or their ass off, or their ears off, or their head off with me. And especially to our stampeders, the head of the New Hampshire Stampede, Keith and Ryan, who are over there at the Stampede table. You know, the system isn't broken, it's fixed. It's rigged. There's a reason why the majority of wealth created over the last 5 years has gone to the top 1%. There's a reason why the top 1% in our country owns more wealth than the entire bottom 90%. And there's a reason why the financial regulations on Wall Street were relaxed to such an extent that it caused the financial collapse. And there's a reason why those banks that were too big to fail then are even bigger now. And there's a reason why we don't have health care for all, unlike every other industrialized democracy in the world. And there's a reason why our tax code is larded with tax loopholes for corporations and the wealthiest amongst us. And that is what John McCain calls legalized bribery. I'm sorry to say that we no longer live in a democracy. It's no longer rule of the people, but it's rule of the rich. The system is rigged. For people in the lower class, in the lower middle class, and increasingly for people in the middle class, it is impossible to get ahead. The American dream has turned into a nightmare. This country started as a revolution against the aristocracy. It was against taxation without representation. Well, you know, what we've got today is representation without taxation. Representation without taxation. The most successful corporations in our country, billion-dollar corporations, are not paying any taxes because they've got representation. They've got money. They've bought the politicians who write the tax loopholes for them. And the rest of us get to make it up. Well, you know, there's only one thing that can put an end to it, and that is the reality that large numbers of people working together are stronger than money. That's really the only thing that's stronger than money. Numbers of people working together are more powerful than dollars. And that's what the Stampede is about. It is a protest, a mass protest against money in politics, and a demonstration of support for passing legislation and amending the Constitution to get money out. And so that's what we've been doing, stamping dollar bills all over the country, stamping dollar bills and calling a spade a spade. not to be used for bribing politicians. And the stampede started about 2 years ago. We now have 60,000 people around the country stamping. We have grown at 100% a year. There's now 1,000 people a week joining the stampede. And right here, right now, today, over there at the stampede table, you can get your very own stamp for half price. Not the normal $10 plus shipping and handling that you pay on the internet. No, no, no. You can get your very own stamp for $5. So we call this a very public petition on steroids. You know, normally, if you want to make your voice heard, you sign a petition, you click a link. Maybe the target of the petition hears it once or twice, but when you stamp a dollar bill, you are creating a miniature billboard. 875 people see each stamped dollar as it gets passed around the country for the next 2.5 years. One person stamping 3 bills a day can literally create 1 million impressions. And that's the kind of thing that grows a movement. You know, we call it monetary jujitsu, using money to get money out of politics. You know, there is, I mean, you know, we're a few days away from the New Hampshire primary. And I'm happy to see that so many candidates have gotten the message and they're talking the talk. And they're all saying, oh, this is a horrible thing, too much money in politics, horrible, horrible, we should amend the Constitution, whatever. But there is one candidate who is walking the walk, and he has said he will not take any money from corporations, super PACs, or the wealthy, and he is creating the political revolution that we need to overcome money in politics. He is doing it the right way, and we have a responsibility to support him, to get out there and get our message known that it is one person, one vote. He's got 3 million individual contributions of, what, an average of $27 apiece. This guy has put his heart on the line for our issue. We have a responsibility to put it on the line for him. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ben. Please give it up for Ben Cohen, co-founder of Ben & Jerry's, head of the Stamp Stampede. And that was a great endorsement of Bernie Sanders. Thank you, Ben.